Hey guys, subscribe for daily content. And if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got a short little knife review / knife overview to share with you guys. This is the Sencut Vesperon, or at least, I think that's how we pronounce it, Vesperon, right? Let me tell you this. Let me start this off by saying this is, at base, a $40 knife at $39.95. That's in the territory of, that's hard to complain about if it's made well. And I'm happy to say that it is. I will link this right down below in the description so you guys can check it out if you want to. It does help my channel when you use those links before you make a purchase decision, but that's entirely up to you. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex, and thanks to Sencut for sending this in if I haven't said so already. So, once we get under the $40 mark anymore, I understand there's lots of pocket knives out there that come in at less than $40, but the vast majority of them are hot garbage. And I mean liquid run-off garbage, crap, poo-poo, caca, pee-pee. It's all bad, right? Well, not all of it, but a lot of it is. So when I find something that's less than $40, because I honestly thought like, oh cool, another, kind of generic looking Sencut, they're probably going to want like $50-$55 for it. No, $39.95. That's pretty good. Comes in a variety of different colors and things. So if you're like me and you're like, I'm not the biggest fan of black and wood, then check out some of the other ones. We'll go ahead and we're gonna go through this pretty quickly. There's really not a lot to complain about here. Overall length of the Vesperon, I keep wanting to say Vaporeon, like the Pokemon. 7.75 inches overall. Blade length is about 3.35. No, that's wrong. It's about 3.45 inches. At least it is on the cutting edge. Let's go ahead and do some size comparisons. I think just a couple. You know what? Let's put it up against some Civivis. So how about up against the Vision FG and the Civivi Elementum button lock? There we go. How about the CJRB Pyrite? I think that might be another good one. That's another really inexpensive budget knife. How about up against the Demco AD 20.5 and maybe the Ontario Rat Model 2? Okay, and yeah, let's put it up against the Spyderco Para 3. And finally, if I can find it, I cannot. Folks, we're not going to put it up against the Bug Out today. No, you know what? Here it is. It's right here. Very similar. Okay, how's the action? It's about what you'd expect. This guy is running on bearings, and it's got a nice smooth action. You can flip this knife, and it works great. But you can also reverse flick it. And this is nice. They just kind of got this tucked away in just about exactly the right zone there. You can thumb flick it out. You can reverse flick it out, right? Or if you just, if you're feeling like having a normal day, you can just wheel it out, right? Like just a normal, just regular C+ dude or gal, whatever. But that's fine. That's what we want. Access to the lock bar. That's what we expect for a knife of this caliber. Access to the lock bar is good. There's some teeth on it, but they're not aggressive teeth. They're just flat, sort of vegetable eating teeth. That's fine. I like vegetables. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't know what I'm talking about here. How about carry profile? Thickness up against the Spyderco Para 3. It's about the same. Length and height up against the PM2 and the Para 3. Yeah. It's a little bit longer than the Para 3, nowhere near as long as the PM2, nowhere near as tall as either. Really, overall, you're going to have a pretty good carry profile experience. Materials, what are we looking at here? So for the steel, which you can probably just barely see, it's 9CR 18 MOV, which is fine. That's a great ingot composition. In the budget territory, very balanced. We have good corrosion resistance, decent edge retention, good toughness, and very, very easy to touch up, which I think is really important for knives like this that are definitely meant to be taken out and just used, right? Not abused, but just used, right? It's nice to get something like that that's good enough and that you can touch up easily. In this case, we have wood, which is not my favorite, but if you like wood, then you'll get no judgment from me. I would prefer one of the G10 colors, the jade or the black, right? I think that's fine. But it's up to you. How about a hardware check? We'll get out my tools as per usual. My tools are very inexpensive and very recommendable. You can find them right down in the section of my description that talks about the tools I use on this channel. This is a T8. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's a T8, just trust me. Pivot is a T8. And the body screws are also going to be a T8 because Sencut has the sense to do that. We have at least 3 T8 screws total, which is not a big deal, and then a couple of T6 screws. And look at that, they milled it out for lefties. And there's the other, well, it's the other body screw that's going into one of the screw holes, but you'll need to use the T6 screws to mount it for the other side. Anyways, minimal hardware, very easy to disassemble. It's just the liners, the scales, some bearings, the blade, right? Some screws and the pocket clip. As long as you have the right tools for the job, you should be good to go. Let's go ahead and measure blade stock thickness here. I'm going to guess that comes in at the typical 115 or so thousandths. And look at that. I'm a machine. I'm a machine. I harness technology. Okay, moving on here. The weight. Do we have milling for weight reduction? We do. We have skeletonized liners. Weight on this scale here. 3.49 ounces. That's almost a perfect 1-to-1 ratio when we're talking about number of ounces versus number of inches in the blade, right? So very good. And the actual balance on the knife is right there in that primary, I'm going to call it the primary choil. I don't know if that's a real term or not. That isn't a real term. The number of times I've said it on this channel makes it official in my book. So there you go. How about we move into the meat and potatoes here? Boy, this is a very, very generic looking knife, and that's fine. A lot of times what makes me mad about knives like this is everything works correctly, right? This is not a magical formula anymore. What is knife geometry? What handle is correct for human hand? Like, that's not, nobody is sitting around and doing that anymore, except Frost Cutlery, or M-Tech. Oh my God. What makes them think that a triangle is an ergonomic shape? A triangle and stars and spikes, that doesn't go in your hand. Anyways, the general, ergonomic shape of a handle, it's not a magic formula, and neither is a utilitarian blade shape, at least that fits into the parameters of general utility for the vast majority of people. This is not a magical thing. You don't have to dig very far to find it. In fact, you can throw a rock in any direction on the internet and find something that is made very well. The thing that you don't find very often is something that is all of that, and the materials are good, and the execution is good, and it's less than $40. It's there, right? There are companies who make it. We just don't see it very often. So the cool factor here is not in the look. There's nothing really special going on there. It's what we'd expect, and they do it well, right? We have a nice thin drop point blade with a little hole in it, right? I think some people are going to say, but weakens the blade. It does if you're jamming it into between two hard spaces and prying with it, which, say it with me, that's not what you use a knife for. But my grandpa said, well, your grandpa was wrong. Your grandpa and many grandpas before him were wrong, it turns out. A knife is used to cut. A pry bar is used to pry. Now you know, right? But there's no weak point. That's not an issue, right? That's a non-issue. If you use this the way that it's supposed to be used, you'll be fine. Poke with it, and cut things that are not as hard as the blade, and it will serve you well. If you do things outside of those parameters, well, you won't have a knife. You'll have a weird, rusty stump of a thing that you carry around for some reason, right? So, anyways, all of this is good. The edges are chamfered. The ergonomics are good, save for the Loch Ness monster clip, which I always complain about, and I doubt Civivi will ever change it. I doubt they care. It doesn't matter how many times I complain about it, but I'm going to keep doing that. The clip is functional, but it's a bother in the hand, right? At least they've got mounting positions for both sides. The cutting geometry is good. It will slice, it will poke. Edge bevels are even, right? Civivi and Sencut have some of the best factory budget edges that you will find in the industry. Generally very good, right? And 9CR ATM MOV, the way that they heat treat it, I think will serve most people very well. Not a ton going on here, right? I mean, where they cut corners to get that price down, they did it with intent, and I think they succeeded, right? They shaved this of any pomp and frill, and they got it under that mark, which is good, right? There are especially now in 2023, I know if you watch my channel, you're like, how the heck does this, but everybody's got a different budget. Obviously, I get my budget from my channel. My channel generates revenue, and I can buy some crazy stuff, right? And I like to do that and then show you guys crazy stuff. But most people, really try to keep control of their budget, and they are not paying hundreds or thousands of dollars for pocket knives. And that's a totally that's, of course, that's a logical thing, right? I mean, at the end of the day, if you just need a tool, then you can find amazing utility at this price point. And this is one of those things, right? So it's important to point this stuff out when it's every single dollar matters. And in this case, I really believe that every one of those $39 and every cent of the 95 cents that went into this, right, save some room for them to make some profit, they counted. And they cut back on things that they didn't need, right? So for that, I think that that's great. And I know a lot of people will really appreciate that. There is a little lanyard bar right here. So you can put a lanyard on it if you want. The liners are lipped and slightly shadow boxed, and I think that's perfectly fine. It doesn't cause an issue there. It looks good, right? Depending on the color combo you get, they might be satin or more of a blasted finish, or they might be black, right? We have the pocket clip, which sits on top of the scale, and that's totally fine because there's 2 screws holding it in, right? Doesn't need to be captive. And like I said, you can flip it over to the other side, which is great. That's how it should be. Lefties, this is not a difficult knife to manipulate. I'm sure that you're used to manipulating right-handed liner locks, and the only thing that you really ask for is a mounting position for you to carry it the way that you want to, and that we've got that here, so that's great. There is a stop pin located in its traditional place, and there's a little bit of shouldering right there, which is great. Like I said, runs on bearings, no blade play, up, down, left, or right. Very easy to disengage. No double clutch, no pivot lash, very smooth in here, and a nice detent that is tuned to accommodate for flipping action and, manipulating this blade hole here. Like I said, they're not reinventing the wheel with this design. They're not doing anything spectacular, but had this come in at $45 or $48, that's what I thought. I was like, this is going to be $48 to $54, and it's just going to be another nothing whatever, right? You might be saying Metal Complex, that at worst, that's you're impressed with it at $39.95, but you would have been thoroughly unimpressed with it anywhere from $48 to $54. That's only a few dollars more. Yes, that's true, but it is, as far as the total percentage increase in price, it's substantially more, right? Especially to people who are hunting for a good tool on a budget. That money counts. Everybody's budget is different, so how you perceive, like overpriced or underpriced is different for every person. So I tend to go by percentage, what I expect versus what it actually is. And so for this to come in under $40 and then them to hit all of those other price, all of those other expectations, right? As Sencut and Civivi, I'm lumping them together because they're the same company and they're also under the parent company We Knives, right? So if that's confusing, sorry about that. But they make a good quality knife, and they have been, right? And we've seen so many prices creep up, and things just come out of like that spectacular zone into the meh zone, right? So spectacular to me is when you can get all of these things that you expect on a good utilitarian day-to-day knife, right? You can get good execution, good materials, good ergonomics, good cutting geometry, ease of manipulation, all of that. And it can come in at under $40. That's pretty great. So I realize there are other things in Sencut's line that are, roughly the same thing or very, very similar. That's true. But I like this one. I like the combination of the flipper and the thumb hole, and I like the fact that we just kept all the nonsense off of it and we just got it down to a good price point. So this is a win. Absolutely recommendable. It'll go on my recommended knives playlist. It'll go on my cheap knives I like playlist as well, so make sure and check those out. Like I said, this will be linked in the description directly, so you can check it out if you want to. Thanks again to Sencut for sending this in. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do of course have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.